What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, still under the weather, but feeling well enough that I'm going to get back to this series. I kind of took a couple day pause off of our top 5 cards for each color deck. I'm going to do each of the guilds, then probably end for a while. I haven't really seen a whole lot of interest in doing the wedges. Maybe I can revisit it later. But today, without further ado, we have ourselves the top 5, or my top 5 Dimir cards to put in any commander deck. Starting in at number 5, we have Memory Plunder. I love this card for multiple reasons. First, it being hybrid black and blue, this is pretty much only going to go in a Dimir deck, right? If you're running 3 colors or 4 colors, God help you on those colored pips. But I like that in Dimir, all your lands can really help with this card, unless you have colorless lands. And then I really, really love the art. I really love it. I don't know who Dan Scott is. I haven't looked up any of his other art. I just see this card, and I love this card, and I play this card because this card looks so beautiful. The reds and the blues and the blacks. But what is the actual card itself? You don't play a card just for its art. Well, I do sometimes, but it says it's an instant, and you may cast target instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard without paying its mana cost. It is a theft card, and it is really good and really strong. And the fact that it's an instant and not a sorcery gives you a whole lot of leeway to do what you want with whatever card you can get a hold of. I have used this to cast somebody's extra turn spell. I've used this to cast mass removal, and it's a really good card for politicking, right? It's really interesting because say somebody gets ahead on the board, you've got this thing, somebody already wrathed a while ago, you're like, hey, I got you guys, we're going to be using this wrath in your graveyard to get rid of this. Or if somebody is a dillweed and trying to set up their combo, but somebody windfelled earlier, you can be like, oh sweet, Memory Plunder, Windfall, all those cards you just tutored up into your graveyard, go away. And then you get to draw 7 new cards. It has so much utility. It's super fun. I have done a whole bunch of weird and janky things with it, as well as a couple blowout plays with it. But it's super fun. I think that it has a very low floor, because you can always just like take some of these Swords to Plowshares or Rampant Growth. But it also has an amazingly high ceiling. So, Memory Plunder. In at number 4, we have Ring Sight. Yes, we all know Weston really loves Lord of the Rings, and that's true. And Ring Sight is a sorcery for 1 generic, 1 blue, 1 black, and it says the ring tempts you. So you get to have the ring tempt you, which is always good. Gets you a little bit of generic value. Makes it so your ring bearer can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. And then search your library for a card that shares a color with a legendary creature you control. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. So as long as you don't like lose your legendary commander, you can tutor up any creature. A lot of times, like tutor up something that's in your commander's colors. You drop your commander on turn 2 if it's a cheap one. Hell, if you drop it even at like turn 4, you can maybe play Ring Sight on turn 5, as long as they don't remove your commander. A lot of people don't actively remove commanders unless they're kill on sight commanders. And this is just a pretty cheap tutor card that's pretty fun. And honestly, its cost is really, really, really inexpensive. So if you want a more niche and fun little tutor that can get you a creature, check it out. Next, we have Limdual's Vault. Man, my nose is just absolutely destroying me right now. So I'm sorry I sound so nasally. Limdual's Vault, it's an instant for blue and black. And look at the top 5 cards of your library. As many times as you choose, you can pay 1 life and put those cards on the bottom of your library in any order. Then look at the top 5 cards of your library. Then shuffle your library and put the last cards you looked at this way on top of your in any order. So this is a way you play this card, and then I've seen people play this card in Legacy a long time ago. But you look at the top 5. If it's trash, you put them on the bottom. Then you look at the top 5 of your library, and you're like, okay, these look good. You take the rest of your library and you shuffle it, and then you put those cards back on top in any order. This is a great way to set up your deck to have an optimal way to have good cards at the top. And it only costs you 1 life per time that you do this. You can do it as many times as you want. So you can look through your whole deck until you get like your card that you need for a combo. But Limdual's Vault, very good. Highly recommend it. And yeah, check it out. I think it's still pretty cheap as well. It's a weird card, and especially if you get the old version, the wording on it is going to be goofy, so you're going to have to explain it to people. But yeah. Next, we have Extract from Darkness. Look at that little handsome boy grub thing coming out of that sewer there. This is a sorcery for 3 generic, black and a blue. And each player mills 2 cards, then you put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. I'm sure you're noticing a theme with my Dimir cards. I do a lot of like control and politicking in Dimir, and I find theft and reanimating enemy stuff to be a form of control. And with this, after I'm done killing somebody's stuff, because I run a lot of removal in Dimir, bringing back somebody's really big value creature is really good. And it doesn't even have to be a big creature, right? I've brought back Esper Sentinel. I've brought back somebody's Deadpool, which was really funny. And stolen their commander ability with the Deadpool. I've stolen all sorts of nonsense from people. And the value on this scales with what how strong your pod is, right? You kill a bunch of opponent's stuff and it's dead. Say you managed to like mill a Crater Hoof from somebody, or their Crater Hoof didn't kill everyone in the game and you got it to the graveyard, reanimating a Crater Hoof, and maybe you can win then. But yeah, again, Extract from Darkness, pretty solid option. And last, but certainly not least, and this one's a little bit more niche, he comes from the Sauron commander deck for Lord of the Rings. We have Grima, Saruman's Footman. He's a 1/4 for 2 generic, a blue and a black. He can't be blocked, and whenever Grima deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then that player puts the exiled cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of their library in a random order. He can't be blocked, and although he's a 4-drop, oh man, have I gotten some bombs off of this. I have I have cast somebody's extra turn spell off of this. I have cast people's big draw spells off of this. Oh my goodness, I think the best one I hit for draw spells is I hit somebody's Seagate Restoration, and that was absolutely disgusting. It was phenomenal. Just great card overall. Sure, you might hit a couple dead cards, and that would suck, but for a little unblockable 1/4 dude that just thieves people's stuff, especially poking out your Spellslinger opponent, or somebody who's playing those big, like even if you attack green, right, you might top into a big ramp spell, and that gets you more mana to catch up to the green player. That's really not that bad. All in all, pretty fun. But let me know your favorite Dimir cards in the comments down below. Like I said, I really like them. I like Dimir a lot. I play Dimir and Esper quite a bit in my decks. But as always, I am Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And now I'm gonna go take some more Mucinex for my nose. Thank you very much, and have a great day.